matter where you go, no matter what you do, take that Maui style with you. Cause if you ain't Maui styling, you just living on an island. Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 There is sunshine in your heart. It's been with you from the start. Lift your head, look to the heavens, then you will feel brand new again. Don't stop me now, Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Reach out your hand and help each other. Your mother, your father, your sister and brother. There is love in this family. Pick yourself up and get on your feet. Don't stop me now, Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Makena styling, up country styling, Campo styling, Kahana Valley styling, Hana styling, Waihu styling, Bahia styling, Keanai styling. Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Maui styling, Maui styling, don't stop me now. Maui styling.
Aloha! Welcome to another Mama Presents. The Maui Arts and Music Association today is working in the area of healing arts. And how we are is by bringing on a terrific guest, a man who has 40 years of experience in the area of chiropractic and many other modalities, Dr. Fred Eckfeld. Welcome to the show.
Jason, nice to see you once more. It's been a long time.
We were about 8 or 9 years ago.
9 years ago.
9 years ago. And Fred had come here to Maui and we had a show. We were very happy, and you were doing things then.
That's absolutely, but not this.
Oh yeah, different subject.
Right.
But at that time you were working and developing with something that now you're showing not only with humans, but we're talking about different animals. We went out on a visit to see some horses and some dogs, and I guess you work on cats, snakes and birds.
That's right.
How'd you like that? How'd you like to have your bird adjusted? I mean,
Okay.
I really know that it was not only fascinating. When I was putting this together, I went and met Makena Stables at Pat Borge and Helene, and they were wonderful people. And then we went up and met some people there in Maui Meadows, these guys too.
Right.
And it was an experience watching the animals respond and the owners respond, realizing how far we've come to take good care of their friends, their animals. It was fantastic.
Right.
By the time we were leaving, it was like, oh, please come back again. So many of you, you're going to probably be saying, how do I get in touch with Fred? Fred,
We'll provide that information.
how long ago did you start doing this with animals?
With animals, well, I started with animals actually over 40 years ago when I was still a student. Because my mother was a breeder of Cairn Terrier dogs, and I had an affinity for the animal, I wondered how I might be able to use chiropractic as it would be applying to animals. Although I had no schooling in that, there was no map to guide me, but I knew they had a spine and I knew that they would respond in some way. So that was the very beginning for me. And then through the years, I had my own animals that I would treat.
And you had horses, I know.
I had horses too. And so also I saw the changes that my animals, my own pets, went through. Then, patients. When I had a chiropractic office, this is in California, patients would ask me, would you come by my house and treat my cat or treat my dog? Or could you come out to the barn and treat my trigger, you know? And so I started doing that.
Well, my first reaction, of course, is do you just grab Trigger by the head and adjust him?
Exactly.
But I say that almost in jest because what you showed was, and showing us, you're going to see in a second, it's not that at all. Things have really matured.
Well, let me just say this. First of all, I am a chiropractor. I'm not a veterinarian. And I work with veterinarians and through veterinarians. I highly recommend that any chiropractor do that, not just go out on his own. I will also acknowledge for the record here that there is manual manipulation like I did and other chiropractors and veterinarians do with animals. That works. Acupuncture works. Homeopathy works. Those are all beneficial to the animal. There is a difference though in what they're doing and what I am doing.
I see.
Yeah, which I will explain.
Now you guys are going to get an opportunity to go with us in just a second. I wanted to be able to stand here with Fred. We're going to wait till the wind goes by. You know, we picked a great spot here. We have to get these guys back. They're leaving too soon. Fred, you've been here a few times, and I know that you have obligations in the world and busy stuff. We're very happy to have you here. We hope you'll come back again. Even before we get started, I can see the cards and letters happening. The reaction of owners.
I hope so.
The reactions of the owners of these pets, and the horses and the dogs, was so strong. I thought, wow. If you could open up our office here today, you'd be busy, so busy.
True. And what I will just say now to explain what this technique is all about. As I said, I've been treating animals for over 40 years. My own way. Several years ago, 4 years ago, I believe, I saw in my chiropractic journal this ad, and it repeated and repeated and repeated, for adjusting animals called veterinary orthopedic manipulation. And I was curious one day and called the telephone number, and it's a veterinarian, Dr. Bill Inman in Idaho, who in 1982 started developing this particular technique which you witnessed, which is instrument adjusting, not with the hands, and it's quite different in several regards.
1982.
He started it then and started developing it, and through the years he has taught several thousand, 4,000 or 5,000 veterinarians and chiropractors this particular technique.
Now, this is something, I don't know what you call it.
This is something, yes. This is an activator instrument.
I was going to say,
this is a handheld activator
this looks
device.
like something you used with me before.
That's right, over 9 years ago, exactly.
Right.
Something similar to this. Right.
So, what this does, can you share a little bit?
Okay. This is a spring-loaded handheld device, and you just squeeze it, and it delivers an impulse. And when all else fails, if you don't have power, I have instruments here that are electronic that replace this. This can wear out your hand after a while on your wrist.
Now this is
An activator.
I want to say a forerunner, I say, of these, which the pulse is created on a regular basis where you can regulate speed
And the force.
And force.
And the force.
And so things have really accelerated in your tools.
Let me just say this, that years ago, when I heard of activator methods, and I studied with Arlen Foer, the founder and developer of activator methods, and I know him well as a friend, I resisted it because I felt, my ego being so big, that my hands could do it much better than an instrument. I was dragged kicking and screaming to a seminar and learned it, and I saw what could happen, and I go, I have to swallow my pride and learn something new, which is what has happened. So I got to this. Then again, my ego gets in the way, and I resist instruments, which I'll show you in a moment too. So with these, we're developing, delivering an impulse into part of the spine. And I don't want to get technical on this for your show, but it does deliver an impulse that goes down through the skin, the hair, the skin, the bone, the ligaments, the muscle tissue, And there's a muscle along the spine of your cats, dogs, and horses that responds to that if there's a pathological condition at that segment of the spine. Then I know that there's something going on that needs to be further treated.
So when I saw, that's what you're going to see.
Yeah.
Now when you called them reeds, where suddenly a reaction happened where
Yes.
there was
That
a muscular
the muscle,
movement.
yes.
And I like how you compared it to when a horse is twitching for the fly.
Oh yeah, it is that same muscle.
muscle.
Right.
And it was really an experience. You're going to see it here in just a second.
And by the way, I will add, Jason, that VOM, veterinary orthopedic manipulation, is an objective science. It's not a healing art. Okay? It's an objective science because we get the pathological read.
Well, that's a great difference.
Yeah,
It really is science.
Yeah. So if I were just doing manual manipulation, which again, as I state, works, I wouldn't get these pathological reads. I wouldn't know that, oh, this spinal segment nerve-wise leads into these organs, and I can actually diagnose
That's a great bridge.
subclinical.
Because I know that how the two worlds of healing arts and medical
Yeah.
sometimes run into each other. It's nice to see them blend.
Which has been a challenge for myself too. You know, as a chiropractor, that the historically speaking, the medical profession has said it's not scientific. Okay, we have now science coming along that is supporting
Fantastic.
that. But this is in the field in between veterinary medicine and chiropractic, what we're doing with the animal. Okay? I can assure you of that. And because in America, according to research about 10 years ago, there were already, in America alone, over 67 million dogs as pets. Now add to that cats, add to that horses and other animals. That adds up to a lot. And you cannot see, unless the animal is walking around lame, that it might have something going on. I can cite some examples if you want. You want? Okay. One day I was...
I'm letting it. I want you to lead me because you know what you need to be saying
Okay.
to give a full picture.
Fair enough. Yeah. I want to be able to, with what follows here, I'd be able to demonstrate the benefits of veterinary orthopedic manipulation. And so that the owners of these pet owners can appreciate what can happen. I want to show that it's a transformative type of treatment, transforming the lives of their pets. And I want them to be able to go out and talk about it too.
Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to, right now, with the magic of television, switch us to Makena Stables.
Okay.
And we're going to see you as you get there. Sparky and, I don't remember
What was the other horse's name?
I was going to say K Aloha, but I don't think it was. It was Keola. And these two horses had different situations.
Right.
And,
Sparky is the paint.
right.
Right. And the other one's half Arab and
Right. And so these were, one was a horse that was dealing with barrels and working in a rodeo situation, who was probably almost 20 years old, something like that.
somewhere in the teens, I think. I don't think he was 20 yet.
And the second one, Keola, had a whole different experience
Right.
with a different problem in a different area of his body.
Right.
To see you in that situation is what you're going to get a chance to see and see the changes. And I think what was equally exciting to me was to see how the loving owners stood there and saw it and so appreciated it. So I'm sure we may be doing a show out there. Maybe we'll come and revisit those.
It can be a jaw-dropping experience for the owner to see this sort of thing happening.
So let's take you ready. Let's go out there. Ready? Watch. And 1, 2, 3.
This guy's name is Sparky.
Sparky. Hey, Sparky. How you doing? Well, you're in for a treat.
Yeah, he could use it. He been roping some cows, man.
Yeah, they'll get you. They pull my neck too, those cows. Yeah. Does he go on rides or he's just an utility? Yeah.
But he's my, he's got some, I take him roping and rodeos, a lot of rodeos and stuff.
Nice, Marky. How are you? Yeah, I have stuff over there, okay? You want to put makeup on him too, Pat?
No, usually, what it is, this guy, I put sunscreen on his nose.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
With nose like that, they have to.
Yeah. So I kind of clean it up. Yeah. Okay, he's ready.
Okay. That's all the code I have. Hopefully you'll do for us. Okay.
You just tell me what you want me to do.
Yeah, first of all, what I'd like to do, Pat, is see what his range of motion is like in the neck. If I can just, I'm not going to take you anywhere. Okay. Oh. Just want to see, stay here.
Hey, buddy.
Just want to see if he'll look back to me. Can you turn your neck without turning your whole body for me? Let's see if you can take him around to the. Can you see, I want to see his butt if you can? Without moving. Because he's supposed to be able to do that. So.
I don't think he knows that, though.
Okay. He's fine right where you have him. So what I'm going to do, this instrument that I have provides an impulse into the body. And it won't hurt him. See? I want you to see it. Okay? I'm going to use it. Okay. Start right up here in the cervical region. Okay. Now, if you want to get a good view of what I'm going to do, Jason,
Yeah.
I'm going to go down. I'm going to be on this side.
Okay.
And I'm looking for you see that?
Uh-huh.
You see that? Right in there. When that musculature grabs like that, there's a problem at that level of the spine. And I'm going to start up here in the thoracic region. There's a muscle along the spine that just twitched there. At that spinal level, there's a pathological reed right there too. See if I can get that cord around under it. So in essence what I'm doing here, I'll just get it over. I'm going down through the spine. Right there we're getting a flinch, and that's the musculature. It's the same muscle that the horse uses to get the flies off its back. You see that drop right there? He's got some problems in that segment right there. Lower lumbar and in the sacrum. Okay? It's an abnormal. This is just the diagnostic pass. I come up here to the atlas again. This is where, because of the harnessing, there's we got a reed there. You see that? That's what we're looking for. We're going to eliminate those reeds and make him feel a lot better. And you wouldn't know it from riding him necessarily that he had a problem there. You see, you're getting that, I hope, Jason.
Uh-huh.
See, the first one is a diagnostic pass, and we have a number of reeds here that have opened up since the first time. He's going to feel a lot different. Okay, we're going to come through a third time. I'll go underneath here. I can come up underneath here and get to the pituitary gland. You're real good about this.
Yeah.
So the idea is to eliminate these reeds, and some of them are nulling out already. Not in there though. His challenge here, he's got some swelling here. Was he ridden hard today?
Yesterday.
When would you ride him again? Tomorrow?
No, probably Monday or Tuesday.
Okay. Okay, we're going to go to the next phase of this whole thing. What we're going to do now, two different other parts of the technique. This is, the first one is myofascial. In other words, I'm affecting the muscles with this next one. Sorry to do this way, but I have to. Now, your animals, your quadrupeds, will hold their emotions in the neck. So I'm going to go down here. And about now, the endorphins are going to kick loose. And yes, I'll do both sides of your neck. It's okay.
Is this like a massaging technique, deep massage?
This is, we're working on the muscle right here. It's not a massage, but what we're doing is releasing muscle that has changed from its normal gel state when there's injury to tissue, because most of the fascia, the tissue, is going to be, even muscle tissue, it's going to be like a gel. And when there's injury, it changed from changes from a gel to a sol or a solid, and it becomes non-communicating tissue then. Okay, so we're opening up communication lines or reestablishing communication conduits that the animal has anyway, but we're just doing it this way. You ever use a jackknobber on them? You know, for the massage? I'll show you. I think I have one. Do I have one in the bag?
Boy, he's nice and calm. It's fantastic. A horse is often this calm? Great.
They love the treatment.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, this part I'm going down through the spine, especially in the areas where I felt the reeds. He's got swelling over in here too. He's standing pretty even. So we'll go down here and affect the muscles where we got some reeds. because we want those to relax. The muscles are the motors that move the bones, and we want to change that state of contraction to relaxation. I have seen these creatures change their personality in the course of a treatment, from being afraid to being mellow. One horse in particular that I think of right now didn't like men, had been mistreated. I'm spending a little bit more time right here. After I use this instrument, there are a couple more things I need to do with this. I'm going to use a cool laser that penetrates 2 inches deep into soft tissue and it reduces inflammation. He has some inflammation right now. Now he doesn't have anything in particular going on with the shoulders or the hips right now?
You know,
The reason I ask is as far as the hips are concerned, because I see here.
well, you know, we do a lot of hills, huh?
Yeah.
Coming down hills. But like I said, he was, you know, I did a lot of roping the last couple of weekends, so he's been pulling a lot of steers, and
Really?
so that would be the area that he would be pulling the steer, you know, when I'm in the left lead,
Okay.
you know. So I think that's where he's getting that.
Okay, the next phase of it is that work that we did after the adjustment with the first instrument. That work that we just did is myofascial. Now I'm going for somatovisceral, which means that I'm going out to the sides where we got the reading pattern on the spinal column to affect the nerves as they go into the organs of the body. So the same with people. The wiring is there from the spinal column and the spinal cord to the organs for function or malfunction. So we're going to make sure that we clear out anything that he has here. We're not going to get the reads that we got on the other. But I just want to make sure, especially down below. Usually people are looking for lameness, and they think, okay, now we got a problem. But that's not what I'm looking for with this. And as you saw, I don't have to snap the neck or anything like that. This is what we're discovering here, because this is an objective science, and it's not a healing art at all. The manual manipulation is fine and it can work, but you don't have anything to measure it by. You don't know what you're looking at. You just like if I were to adjust somebody with my hands rather than instruments, I don't know what I am affecting. With this, I get a read, I know I've got a problem. There's a pathological condition at that spinal segment. Not so with people.
Well, that's why you can go for a massage for 2 hours and still have the same results. It was 15 minutes.
Yeah, well, you know, acupuncture, massage work, and so does manual adjusting, homeopathy, they all work. But they're more of, see, he's got, yeah. See, I'm surprised that he's getting the reads here, but he is. I've had some of the craziest horses that I've treated, and I finished treatment, and after I've done it a few times with them, you know, a couple of treatments, they'll walk with their head at my shoulder without a lead on. Yeah, it's kind of neat to see it. I'm talking about the crazy horses of the world.
Try. You never know.
I said, this isn't a crazy one.
You never know.
He's a little close to
sometimes.
So now we come up with the laser. You know what sunlight does to plants? Plants will turn their leaves toward the sunlight to grow. Photosynthesis takes place. And so this is a penetrating light about that far into soft tissue. You don't hear anything, but some animals are very sensitive to the light. This is powerful light, more powerful than the sunlight because it can penetrate that far. And I want to reduce the inflammation here.
We're happy to deliver this to you, Mr. Sparky.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. They want to know what they're doing with Sparky. What's going on with Sparky?
I was in Dallas a couple of years ago, down there to treat some horses, and there was one huge stallion, and I did everything else, but when I got to him with the laser up in the withers area, it was like, hey, what's that? I mean, something was, he had some stuff going on. But usually they don't feel anything, sometimes they do. The animals are very sensitive to it though. All mammals have, as ground substance, a type of tissue, the collagen tissue and elastin tissue, and it will change with injury, turn into scars. It's like if you get a piece of steak and where you see, you know, the fat that looks like fat, gristle type, that's injury, injured tissue. Turn on. That's that tissue that's turned from the gel into the solid. And so it's non-communicating tissue. It won't do what's normally supposed to be doing. Now, what I
There's no heat or anything.
What I'd like you to do is just move him around a little bit and see if he, I don't know if he's going to cooperate with turning his head for you or not. I had one horse one time turn around. Yeah, one horse turned around after I had treated him and was able to look at his rear end.
Well, he just doesn't know what he wants. Because if he was on his back to give him the aid, then he would do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's not on his back. So
Yeah.
you don't usually ask him to do that.
This one horse was surprised he could look back there though.
It's not a
He'll
request.
do it if I'm on the flat.
Right. Well,
On his back?
I know.
right now.
He'll take some adjustment.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you
Nice to
too.
meet you. Anytime you want to come down and ride a horse, you let me know.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. You're a gentleman. Are you guys horses? No, you're mini horses. Hi. Now we're here with two beautiful little doggies. What kind are they?
West Highland Whites.
West Highland Whites. Well, thank you for letting us be here with them.
Otherwise, Westies. Yeah.
So now, Fred, you're going to work on mini horses, actually, huh?
Yeah.
They're nice little ones. Westies, you call them?
Yeah.
Great.
Where's the dog? Don't you want the dog? Good girl.
Okay.
Good girl. Yeah, good girl. And if you need TREATs or something like that, tell us. Good girl, Pookie.
I want you to understand I'm going to be using this. I want you to look at all these things. Okay? I'll dial this down for you.
Oh, that's the same thing I use on my side. This is cool, Poppy. This is very cool. Doing her leash on, or?
And you can just hold her right there. There we go. So I'm going to go up here on the atlas. Shoulders.
Good job. Good job, Pokey. Good job,
Okay.
Pokey. Good job. Yeah. Good girl. Oh, good girl. So pretty. So pretty. Yeah. Good girl. Good girl. It's okay. Good job, Pokey. Yeah. Good girl.
Let's see if she gets any reads. Yeah, stand up, baby. Keep her up, hold her up underneath there.
Good girl.
See,
Oh, so
that's the
pretty.
reads. That's, you see those? They're immediate. You could. That's the musculature that the quadruped has that humans don't have.
So reacting like that's a good thing?
Reacting like that tells us that we have a pathological pattern in that area of the
Okay.
spine.
Good job, Pokey. Good girl. So pretty. Yeah, you're so pretty.
And that first one going down was a diagnostic pass. This is a treatment pass that I'm doing right now. And the objective is to null out these reads. They don't necessarily null out on the first treatment that we do. But she's,
She seems to like it.
yeah, this is the key area right up in here, because you find with leashed or harnessed animals like the dogs or the horses that,
The tension.
yeah, they can get problem with the jerking on the
Right.
on the leash
Right.
and offset the atlanto-occipital area, and that's key because the whole spinal cord comes down through that area. And if there's a problem there, it can affect the nerve tracts below that level in the spine.
Good girl, boy. You're a good girl. Stand up. Stand up. Okay. Good girl. Stand up. Stand up. Good girl. Oh, yeah, that's pretty.
Well, that's fun too.
Good job, Pokey.
And the animals hold their emotions right here in the neck.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm going to do a diagnostic, not a diagnostic. This is myofascial work that I'm doing.
Good
So
job.
we're going to just, and this is the emotional one, right?
Yeah.
Of the two.
Yeah, definitely.
As you can see, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
She was crying last night.
Yeah, she's,
She was carrying around her little toy baby and
yeah.
wanting to get in bed with us. And
Now I'm going to just check her along the base of the skull here.
oh, Maxine, no.
Good girl, Pokey. Good girl.
Her name is Pokey.
Pokey?
Spell it.
P-O-K-I-E.
And this is along
Pokey Uakea.
suture line and cranial bones.
Oh,
Something that I do.
good job, Pokey. Yeah, you like this, don't you? Good girl.
This is myofascial release that I'm doing. In other words, we're going to get some reads down in here because these reacted when I was adjusting with the other instrument. Right now what we want to do is get these muscles, which have been locked up, to release.
Good girl, Pokey. Yeah. You're going to be very relaxed. Stand up. Stand up. As long as I keep her tail up, she seems to be happy. Good job, Pokey. Good girl. Ooh, yeah, that's nice.
And the next part with the same instrument is somatovisceral. So I'm going out here to get the nerves as they come off the spinal cord that go deep into the organs. I'm not looking for, because I don't get the same response from the musculature being elicited as I do with that or with the myofascial.
So I think there are things you're correcting right now.
Absolutely.
What?
See what happens?
Alignment?
What happens is that if there's an injury, for example, when he accidentally stepped on
The other one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maxine.
Probably got it all.
Well, yeah, and so we're introducing a force, an energy force with that other instrument adjusting that emulates to some degree the force that caused the problem. Okay? And we're firing that force, mechanical force, into the spinal segment. The little bumps that you feel on your spine, the spinous process is what I'm adjusting. And we are firing into there to affect all the tissue, the connective tissue, skin, bone, muscle, down to the nerve, okay, to reestablish communication. When you get injury, that tissue changes from being a gel, you can sit down, from being gel-like to a salt or a solid. Once you have, actually, according to a medical doctor I was recently talking to, it'll penetrate as much as 3 inches deep into soft tissue, reducing inflammation, accelerating the healing process, laying down collagen tissue, and we know where she had reads. Okay, so I'm going to concentrate down in this area.
So she's had some injuries down here?
Some point in time, I don't know what it was.
She had a long trip from Australia coming here.
Naima,
Yes.
would you see
Girl, you like this?
the bag all by itself? I think. I didn't bring it out over at the stables, but I've had horses fall asleep when I use it on them.
We don't want to do that here.
Good job. I mean, this is a terrier, so this is very unusual that she's so calm.
Well, the laser I've had, I've treated people up around the shoulders, and they'll just,
Wow. Good job, Pokey. Good job. We're going to have a great evening.
See, you knew you'd get some special treatment today.
Yeah. Good job.
That's a red laser, Fred?
no. This is a far infrared, not far infrared.
I saw red
It's
come
an
off the
infrared,
end.
and yes, you did.
Yeah.
That's in a frequency range of 630 to 635 nanometers. This one is microlight 830 nanometer range, which means it's in the range that will penetrate deep into tissue.
I see.
The red light laser won't do that.
See, all I knew it was red. I didn't know.
Yeah, yes, you can see the red. That's essentially for aiming.
Oh, I see.
And now, I've used lasers for 7 to 8 years. I've used this one for over 3 now. And when I was searching for lasers to upgrade, I met the fellow who actually manufactures that, and he said, before you make a decision, read this book. I did, and I discovered what a laser was and what a laser wasn't.
What a calm patient.
Oh, she's enjoying it. She's not panting heavily, so she's not nervous. She usually is. Good job.
We're all four-legged around here.
Good job. In spirit.
Right.
Hey, babe. I'm just going to hold this on your head for a few minutes, okay? Right there.
I see. You're next. Don't you worry.
Good girl. Yeah, good girl.
We're back. Now we wanted to show you the different stages of what you were just doing there in the video. Is that good?
That's a good idea.
Please
okay,
take it away.
I'll explain it very briefly. That the first instrument that you saw me using with the horses and with the dogs was this one right here. This is used in place of the handheld spring instrument that I showed you initially here. And so I go down the spine of the animal with this, a particular part of the spine to get that pathological read pattern, okay?
Okay.
So this is the first one. This is used for actually adjusting the vertebra. All right? And then, well, so this is actually delivering the impulse that fires, it's a firing impulse.
Just like
that-
the activator was
sure,
doing.
but it's emulating to some degree the force that was initially put into the body to cause the displacement or subluxation of the vertebra.
I understand. So in other words, you're able to get enough of a activated force to duplicate the original injury or whatever it was.
That's what we're looking at.
And that's what we're seeing.
Right.
Great.
Okay.
That's exciting, huh? You're right. You would have thought you could do it with your hands, but that's something
I
that
know.
it can be measured.
Because you could, yes, it can be measured, and you can see that repeatability. You can also see as we treat that, and we do successive passes, that some of them will start to null out. In other words, they will disappear from the scene. And that's what we're aiming for with the treatment.
Okay.
Step 2, okay? We'll call it that, okay? As we progress through, first I assess the horse, mind you. I'm not just going to, or dog, I'm not just going to walk up and just start firing away. I'm going to get friendly with these animals. They are very social beings, and they measure you too. So
I see.
I get in communication with the animal, so to speak, before I even start. Then I start with adjusting, and then I bring out the second instrument, which is called a veteran-stem. The sister instrument to this is called an arthrostem. Has been around in the chiropractic profession for over 20 years. So this fires 12 to 14 times per second.
Okay.
With this, the next stage after the VOM adjusting is myofascial release. The idea here is to effectively change the tissue which has been injured. When we saw those sites of reed pattern, we know that we have something going on. To what and to what degree, we don't know. But when tissue is in a normal state of health, it's gel-like. When it gets injured, it changes its character and becomes a sol or solid.
I like how you compared it to the gristle we find
Sure.
when someone is
in
eating
meat, for
meat.
example, yeah, that can be the result of injury, and that's non-communicating tissue. And so what we want to do is reestablish communication in the tissue of that path.
So you use this, like
This
it's
is-
really like deep, very focused massage.
In a way, it is having that effect, sure. But it's myofascial release. We're releasing that tight muscle tissue.
Myofascial meaning muscle.
Muscle, that's muscle fascia, and it's firing, and we can actually feel at some point it relaxes.
Are these things used on humans as well?
A variation of the same instrument is used on people. I can use this one on a person, and I just change the setting with it a little bit, okay?
I would think.
Yeah, just a little bit. Okay. Well, the thing
Well,
of
if
the
you were a
birds-
weightlifter and you were a really strong muscled
I don't have
individual,
to. No. I don't have to. And I don't have to imagine it's like a horse I'm treating and treat that weightlifter the same
No?
way. No, not necessary. No,
Oh.
not at all. And besides that, the where we're adjusting and how we're adjusting are two totally different things. And even within the animals, for example, if I'm adjusting a snake, it's totally different. There's only one place I adjust on the snake. There are only 4 places on the bird.
I see.
Right? So
What do they say? They say, don't try this at home.
no, you're right. This is not for amateurs. This is definitely a scientific technique, and it takes quite a bit of study and work to apply and get familiar with, comfortable with, so that you can do it and the animal is comfortable too. Usually,
And you mix modalities or mixing equipment. For example, wait till you see step 3, which is coming up here next.
well, step 3 is really the same instrument, but I'm using it in a different way.
this is step, I thought
It's somatovisceral. Right.
I mean, it's like under the surface. Sort of.
Somato is organ.
Sleeping?
Okay, we're affecting the organs inside the body. We're not looking for that pathological reed pattern. It's not going to usually show that at all on this part of it.
I
Okay?
see.
I'm adjusting along the spine, to the side of the spine, a distance, to affect the same nerves where the pathological reeds were when we went through the
I
other
see.
parts of the technique. Okay? So we went with the adjusting, okay, the veterinary orthopedic manipulation with the gun, firing. Then we did this for myofascial. Then we did this in a different way for somatovisceral.
Well, I thought that is step 3, but it's really 2B, because step 3 is a different kind of a medicine. It's like you fine tune. That's what I like about the way I've seen your treatments grow over time. You add modalities, and I guess that's why you have the kind of client base you do. You know, it's the nature of, for example, I'm going to do another switch because to me it's magic, because it's really taking the idea of force and quantifying it in a even less physically intrusive way, and that is, step 3.
Well, this is a laser. Now right. This is a cold laser. It's photo stimulation of the tissue. This particular laser that I have chosen, and there are many that are in the field, as I said, I've used them for 8 to 9 years now. This one for over 3 years. And as I was looking to upgrade from one laser to another, and I was narrowing it down to a couple of them, and they're thousands of dollars as a piece of equipment.
Yep.
I met the man who manufactured this and got this passed through the FDA, and this was passed through the FDA for treatment of carpal tunnel syndrome.
Wow.
And there are over 500,000 surgeries done in the United States every year for carpal tunnel release. The studies were done at Baylor University in Dallas and General Motors. The light from this will penetrate 2 inches deep, 3 inches I've been informed, actually, deep into soft tissue. So what happens is it will stimulate the tissue, similar to what sunlight does to plants, but much deeper. It's more powerful than that. So the tissue responds, inflammation settles down, the healing process accelerated, it lays down new collagen tissue, and the ground substance in our bodies, people or animals, is elastin and collagen.
Wow.
This is called the microlight laser, the ML830. It is a medical device, and I highly recommend it. I found out what lasers were after I studied a manual on it, and before I'd been using lasers, so-called lasers, and they weren't really.
Isn't it nice to know, we watch television and science fiction and sci-fi and realize that science fact is, when we watch TV, we see lasers being used in a negative way, but the power of energy and force to heal. That's fantastic.
Right. The difference between this, by the way, this is a Class 3B laser. There's Class 3 lasers, which are simply red light lasers in the range of, I'm going to get the frequency, 630 to 635 nanometers. And this is 830 nanometers. The difference being that out of these 3 diodes, you have the actual laser light that goes 3 inches deep into soft tissue. Same company is coming out with a new one next spring, which is going to be used chiefly by acupuncturists, pain centers for acupuncture points. This I can use for acupuncture points, but it's not as focused to a fine point as the new one will be. Still different things, different purposes, but in the same frequency range the new one will have.
So, may I for a moment?
Sure.
I mean, you've seen Star
Don't
Wars
look into
like
the
me.
light.
Right. It's like, this is basically a light sword.
A lightsaber?
Right? It's what it is. It's a lightsaber with a 3-inch range to penetrate soft tissue to heal. And
right.
Can you change its frequency in the unit, or it's set?
No, this one is set at 830 nanometers. The Class 4, for example, laser is a surgical laser. It produces heat, and you have to be very, very careful for that. So we're not cutting, ablating, or cauterizing tissue at all. This is soft laser
and
or
safe,
cool laser.
Because it's designed with one frequency.
Don't look into it.
Of course. Understood.
Right.
You guys know that too. Anyway, like we said, don't try this at home. I don't know what your time is. We really always appreciate having you. We are going to insist that you come back to the show. Any other things that you'd like to be sharing that I want to be sure,
Well, you can provide an email address for me.
Well, why don't we do that right now?
And my phone number too. They
Would
can
you
call
do
me
that?
or write to me and get more information.
Why don't you tell them right now?
Tell them right now. Okay. My email address is Dr. Fred E. Just DrFredE @yahoo.com.
Okay, good. And if you need to get in touch through us, we're always available. You know us, Mama Maui @mac.com. We are living through very unusual times, and when you get out there into the world and realize that there are people, I want to call you a healer. I know you're a doctor, and I recognize the nature of, like you talked about, be able to measure something versus not being able to measure it. In a chiropractic world, that was important, and it's really an interesting thing because you came from a place where you were denied recognition of science, and now you actually have things where I think it's a beautiful miracle, and I know a lot of people in the world and in our viewing audience are really happy to know we on Maui here bridge a lot of different gaps.
I know you do. I know you do. And I came from the battle within myself of the scientist and what you're talking about. And it's been problematic through the years too for me in that, you know, how do I get to the people when I know this and I want to present the science part of it. But the science part of it really exists with this particular technique.
Very exciting. And Fred talked about other things too that are completely other subjects that we're not even, I don't think we're going to mention here at all. Maybe we should. A power plate. Does that play anything? You ever done that with animals?
Yeah, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Well, you're going to have to watch that show too. But
we'll do that at another time, Art. Okay?
It has really been a pleasure having you here with us. Thank you for joining us here on Maui. Hope you'll come back again with your beautiful bride. And
oh, yes.
Fred recently
got married.
Got married.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I hope that you guys will come and visit again. I know that you're feeling already, just in the little time we're here, today as we drove here to Iao Valley, I knew we were opening up yet another pathway to another reason to have you come back and visit us here on Maui.
Well, I would welcome coming back here. I love the islands anyway, and Maui, and I have many friends like yourself. And I appreciate the fact that you invited me to do this. I know that it's been over a year that we've been talking about it too.
Well, you know, everything in its right time.
Right. So with the other people who have asked me to come back, we're going to come back.
Thank you, too.
Okay?
Pleasure, Fred.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again. Aloha.
No matter where you go, no matter what you do, take that Maui style with you. 'Cause if you ain't Maui styling, you just living on an island. Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 There is sunshine in your heart. It's been with you from the start. Lift your head, look to the heavens, then you will feel brand new again. Don't stop me now, Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Reach out your hand and help each other. Your mother, your father, your sister and brother. There is love in this family. Pick yourself up and get on your feet. Don't stop me now, Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Makena styling, up country styling, Campo styling, Kahana Valley styling.